Hey everyone, Brad here with some more California Adventure. Again, I've been making a lot of progress on this park. I've been doing it very quickly. This park, if I'm honest, is probably the most fun one that I've done so far. That's why I've been doing so much of it. Let me show you what I have new since the last video. So, I stopped over here where there's like the Award Wieners restaurant. And you can see here's the front of it. This is supposed to be the sign and the main entrance. Now, strange thing, because it's actually connected to this theater, you'll notice I have the roof, it's like down a little bit, and that's actually how it is. I'm not sure why, but it's just something that I noticed that was a little odd. And then we come through here, and you have the eating area for Award Wieners. So I've got that set up back here. And this is where you start to notice a lot of the buildings have like fake facades. It'll look like, you know, like a real building in the front, and the back will be kind of fake or just won't be complete. Which is kind of different for me because even in Universal, you don't really see much of that. Especially at this next area here. You'll see that from the front, you have all these buildings. But from the back, it's mostly just fake builds. So that was interesting to try and do and make it all with one panel like this one right here. So I couldn't use my new building technique with the western roof to cut through. I just did the old way. Now this was kind of interesting here because it immediately turns into the New York scene where you would have the superhero meets like Captain America and Spider-Man, and it actually changes right at this wall. So I had to kind of squeeze that in there. This part I added too. I was actually really happy with how this turned out because the two trolleys, they actually split here. So one can go this way while the other's going this way. So what I did was I just built another track, and it let me get it pretty close, so that was kind of neat. I do like how it looks. It almost looks like, you know, it could be one track that splits. Then we have the Hyperion Theater, which has the big fake painting in front of it to make it look like, you know, it just keeps on going. And what I did for that was I raised the ground here like it actually is in the park, and I put the buildings. I tried to scale them down just a little bit, and then I used these pieces here to kind of make it look like there were buildings in the distance. Now, because I'm not using any custom scenery or even billboards, this is kind of what I came up with: clouds. So you can see the change of the sky color, clouds in the background. So it looks a little bit funny, but from further back it looks alright, I think. And I'll show you a ride through here in a little bit of the actual trolley, so you can see how that looks. And the rest of the theater is here. And they're currently showing Frozen. I know they used to show Aladdin, which I've never seen, but Frozen is what they have now. Coming around here we have the premiere theater. So this whole theater here is only being used for premieres. Whatever new movie Disney has coming out, they'll just showcase it here with some like special effects and stuff. And just some doors. Here's the studio store, which just sells like hats and other things like that. You have another studio building here, and this is something I'm going to point out that California Adventure does different than Universal Studios like in Florida, is the building roofs on all the Florida ones are typically flat, and then they just have like the elevated parts just on the ends. But here, a lot of them are curved, so I use those western walls again. to give them that curved effect. And you'll see that on this one over here. Now this, I really liked how it turned out, because there's like this pink kind of stripe thing right between the blue and the peach color. So I just used the regular roofs to make that happen. I think it looks pretty good. And then you'll notice every building has the number sign here, so there would be a number here for what studio it is or what soundstage. Couldn't really do that, but I at least have the thing there, and there's one over here. I mean, I don't know if they use this for anything now. I don't think they do. But it's a pretty good sized building. It's actually bigger than the Monsters Inc. ride. So they could use it for something good if they're not. And speaking of Monsters Inc., this was one of those challenges I was thinking about, like, this is going to be difficult. I wasn't really looking forward to. But I think I came up with a pretty decent facade here. Because of course it's all flat cardboard cutouts, and the best thing to use would be a custom billboard. But I'm not going to do that. So I just got a bunch of doors and went crazy with the colors. And did the same amount of layering. There's 2 layers. Well, actually there's 3. There's kind of like one in between the 2. But of course you can't do any in-betweens in this game. And to help kind of stack them, I would put them on one side. Let me just demonstrate. I'll use that one. So I would put them on like one side, and then on the other side, put another one. So I can kind of level them without them being perfectly stacked neatly. These white things here, the white columns, are some of the bigger door frames. So this is actually supposed to be like Boo's door, the actual door itself. Coming through, you can see the queue with all the trees, and then the main building. You have over here the very popular drink stand, which has different drinks and whatnot. There's actually a Visa character meet and greet on the back side around here, which last time I was there it was Pluto. Then we have the little hot dog, or not hot dog, taco truck. I used a van because it's the best vehicle I could find out here in front of the Hyperion Theater. And then here's another soundstage, which I'm not sure what it's used for, but it is there, along with a water tower. So I'll actually turn on the monorail real quick. Let that come by so you can kind of see what this whole place is looking like through the monorail. I didn't really know what color to go with, so I went with the orange or blue because I'm pretty sure I've seen those before. There's Carthay. Soarin'. And that's pretty much that. I am excited to make the Grand Californian though. We'll pop on the trolley real quick. The trolley track is almost done because, as you know, once you make that turn in front of the Hyperion Theater, it just goes past the Guardians ride, and that's really it. You can see I have the mountains. You can see it a little more from here. Carthay. I also added a roof tile to these entryways. So that building's going to be fun to make right there. The really big one. So here's that street facade, really convincing with the depth perception. And now we go into nothingness. Last thing I'm going to do is show you nighttime. So from everything new, you can see it's all pretty much lit up. Oh, one area I skipped is the stage. I kind of used a little bit of an interesting way of doing these benches because it is actually just wooden benches. I just kind of put paths so they don't touch, and then got benches along the side. So in reality, they're kind of like in rows, but this is the best you can do at an angle. I'm gonna have like hula people up there for the show. So everything is all lit up. I think the lighting's pretty good up here. I kind of went crazy with the lights, just, you know, to make it a little better. And that's pretty much everything new here. So you can see Hollywoodland is essentially done with the exception of this big building here. And I mean, I don't really know if the Guardians ride is part of Hollywoodland anymore, technically. Obviously Tower of Terror was. But one of the dilemmas I'm having with Tower of Terror, well, or Guardians, whichever one I choose to build, and I mentioned it before, is that it's built at an angle like this. And doing things at an angle in this game it's not a pain, but it just doesn't look very good. Certain things won't look awesome. And I know that I can make Tower of Terror or Guardians or whatever look really good if I did it this way. So I'm still debating whether I will do it at an angle and try my best, or just, you know, make it go this way, because it won't really matter. I don't plan on doing a Bugs Land, since it's all under construction anyway. But that'll be for another video. As of now, that is all. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.